actually
Wow.
just nose that I take on
That's on
and off. It's on
screws?
magnets. I have sneezed it off once.
Yeah.
Spiders and stuff to climb down there.
In 2012, 42-year-old Jane Hardman entered her house after a routine grocery store trip, and she was greeted by her pit bull, Cece. Cece then jumped up excitedly and bumped her nose into Jane's nose. Something seemingly innocent, but would ultimately cost Jane a portion of her entire face. The headbutt triggered an autoimmune disease to activate that Jane didn't even realize she had. And at first it only gave her a slight nosebleed, maybe just a quick bump, oh, it's just an accident. But over the next few days and weeks, it continued to swell, and it would continuously bleed, and so finally she went to her general practitioner, and doctor after doctor could not figure out why this was happening to Jane. But finally, a specialist inspected her and realized this is something that would later go on to cost her her entire nose. It would decay and disintegrate right off of her face. Now, throughout this, her husband Martin would never leave her side during this living nightmare. He made her laugh, maintained the household, and loved her unconditionally, just trying to keep her spirits alive. This was all throughout her multiple surgeries until finally, 4 years later, she received a prosthetic nose that was modeled after a random woman she saw in public, and she really admired her nose, and the woman volunteered to let her nose be a model for what she would receive as her prosthetic. Now, this very prosthetic nose was held onto her face by magnets, and because of that, she even claimed that several times in public she sneezed her nose clean off of her face, and one time she made the mistake of going to bed without her nose being applied, and a spider crawled down her hole.